The Secret to a Calm and Focused Life. Introduction. The Unseen Power of Presence. In the relentless rush of modern life, a profound truth often eludes us. The only moment we truly possess is this one, right now. Our minds, remarkable instruments for planning and remembering, frequently pull us away from this immediate reality, launching us into the anxieties of the future or the regrets of the past. We find ourselves physically present, but mentally absent, rushing through experiences without truly inhabiting them. This pervasive state of distraction, often fueled by external demands and internal narratives, leaves us feeling overwhelmed, fragmented, and profoundly disconnected from the richness and peace available in each unfolding instant. This book, Presence, The Secret to a Calm and Focused Life, is an invitation to gently redirect your attention to the here and now. It is a comprehensive guide to understanding, cultivating, and integrating presence into every facet of your daily existence. Presence is not a mystical concept or a fleeting feeling. It is the fundamental human capacity to be fully aware of where you are and what you're doing, without being overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's happening. It is about waking up to your life, right here, right now, and discovering the profound calm and focus that emerge from this simple shift in attention. Many people mistakenly believe that cultivating presence requires withdrawing from the world or engaging in lengthy, formal meditation sessions. While dedicated meditation practice is a powerful tool, the essence of presence extends far beyond the cushion. It is about bringing a quality of conscious attention to the mundane acts of eating and walking, the complexities of difficult conversations, and the challenges of professional tasks. It is about transforming ordinary moments into extraordinary opportunities for peace, insight, and genuine engagement. Through accessible insights, practical exercises, and illustrative scenarios, this book will explore how cultivating presence can fundamentally alter your perception and interaction with reality. You will discover how to define and understand what presence truly is, beyond common misconceptions. Explore the scientific basis of presence and its impact on your brain and body. Utilize your breath as a reliable anchor to the present moment. Engage your senses to fully experience the richness of immediate reality. Infuse presence into everyday routines, transforming tasks into opportunities for awareness. Deepen your relationships through enhanced presence and authentic listening. Boost focus and productivity in your professional life. Navigate the digital world mindfully, reclaiming your attention from constant distraction. Manage challenging emotions with greater wisdom and less reactivity. Foster acceptance for yourself, others, and life's imperfections. Build resilience by staying grounded in the face of adversity. Presence, the secret to a calm and focused life, is not a promise of a problem-free existence, but a pathway to a richer, more resilient, and more fulfilling one. It is a compassionate companion on your journey to unlocking the transformative power of being fully here, revealing how a simple shift in attention can indeed be the secret to a calm and focused life. Chapter 1. Defining Presence, Beyond the Buzzword. The term presence has gained significant traction in recent years, often appearing in discussions about leadership, well-being, and personal effectiveness. Yet, like many popular concepts, its true meaning can become diluted or misunderstood, often conflated with mere physical attendance or a vague sense of being in the moment. To truly harness the power of presence, we must first establish a clear and nuanced understanding of what it entails, moving beyond the superficial buzzword. At its core, presence is the state of being fully aware of the current moment, without judgment or excessive mental commentary. It is the capacity to bring your full attention to whatever is happening right now, whether it's an internal experience, thoughts, emotions, bodily sensations, or an external one, sights, sounds, interactions, It's about being truly here, both physically and mentally, rather than being pulled into the past or projected into the future. Presence is not about emptying your mind of thoughts. That's an impossible and often frustrating endeavor. Our minds are designed to think, plan, and remember. Instead, presence involves observing these mental activities as they arise, acknowledging their presence, and then gently redirecting your attention back to your chosen anchor in the present moment, such as your breath or sensory input. It's also not about achieving a constant state of blissful calm, though peace can often be a natural byproduct. Presence is about meeting whatever arises pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral with an open, accepting, and non-reactive awareness. It's about seeing reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Consider an individual attending a team meeting. Physically, they are in the room, but mentally, they are simultaneously checking emails on their phone, rehearsing a conversation they need to have later, and worrying about a project deadline. While they might nod along, their attention is fragmented, leading to missed details, superficial contributions, and a feeling of being overwhelmed even during the meeting. This is a state of mindlessness. In contrast, if this individual were to cultivate presence, they would consciously choose to put away their phone and bring their full attention to the speaker. They would actively listen, noticing not just the words, but also the tone of voice and body language. When their mind inevitably wanders to other tasks, they would gently acknowledge the thought, planning thought, and then guide their attention back to the current discussion. This simple shift transforms a fragmented, stressful experience into a moment of intentional engagement, allowing them to contribute more effectively, understand more deeply, and feel more grounded. Presence is a skill, and like any skill, it is developed through consistent practice. While formal meditation practices, such as focused attention meditation on the breath, are excellent ways to train this muscle of attention, presence can also be cultivated informally throughout your day. By bringing conscious awareness to everyday activities from drinking a cup of tea to walking to your car, you build your capacity to be present in all aspects of your life. Key characteristics of presence: full awareness, being fully attentive to internal and external experiences as they unfold. Non-judgmental observation, noticing thoughts, feelings, and sensations without labeling them as good or bad, right or wrong. Acceptance of what is, acknowledging reality as it is, rather than resisting it or wishing it were different. This allows for a more peaceful engagement with the present. Curiosity, approaching experiences with an open, inquiring mind, like a scientist observing a phenomenon. Reduced reactivity, creating a space between stimulus and response, allowing for conscious choice rather than automatic reaction. Understanding these core tenets is the first step in unlocking the transformative potential of presence. It moves beyond a mere technique to a fundamental way of being that can indeed be the secret to a calm and focused life. Chapter 2. The Science of Presence: Brain, Body, and Behavior. For centuries, the concept of presence was primarily explored within philosophical and spiritual traditions. Today, thanks to remarkable advancements in neuroscience and brain imaging technologies, we possess a robust scientific understanding of how cultivating presence impacts our brains, bodies, and behavior. This research provides compelling evidence that presence is not merely a subjective state, but a powerful practice that can physically rewire our brains, enhance our well-being, and significantly improve our cognitive and emotional functioning. The human brain is an incredibly adaptable organ, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. This means that our experiences, thoughts, and intentional practices can actually change the physical structure, functional connectivity, and chemical processes within our brains. Cultivating presence through consistent practice has been shown to lead to measurable and beneficial changes in key brain regions associated with attention, emotion regulation, self-awareness, and stress response. One of the most significant findings is the impact of presence on the prefrontal cortex. This area, located directly behind your forehead, is the brain's executive control center, responsible for higher-order cognitive functions such as planning, decision-making, working memory, problem-solving, and emotional regulation. Regular practice of presence has been linked to increased gray matter density and enhanced activity in this region, suggesting an improved capacity for these executive functions. This means you can think more clearly, make more rational decisions, and manage your emotions with greater skill. Another crucial brain region profoundly affected by presence is the amygdala, often referred to as the brain's fear center. The amygdala plays a central role in processing emotions, particularly fear, anxiety, and anger, and is responsible for triggering the rapid fight-or-flight stress response. Studies show that consistent presence practice can lead to a reduction in amygdala activity and, in some cases, a decrease in its size. This translates directly to a reduced physiological stress response, meaning you are less likely to be overwhelmed by stressors and can recover more quickly from stressful events. Furthermore, cultivating presence strengthens the functional connectivity and communication pathways between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. This enhanced communication allows the wise prefrontal cortex to exert greater regulatory control over the amygdala's more primitive, reactive emotional responses. In essence, you gain more intentional control over your emotional reactions, moving from automatic, often regrettable reactivity to conscious, skillful choice. Consider an individual who frequently experiences high levels of anxiety, often triggered by minor stressors like a busy commute or a demanding email. Their amygdala might be highly active, constantly sending danger signals throughout their body, leading to a perpetual state of unease, shallow breathing, and difficulty concentrating. Their prefrontal cortex, responsible for calm reasoning and executive function, might be less effective at regulating these emotional surges. Through consistent presence practice, such as daily focused breathing exercises or mindful walking, this individual begins to notice subtle but profound shifts. They might find that when anxiety arises, they are able to pause before reacting, observe the physical sensations of anxiety, e.g., racing heart, tight stomach, without being overwhelmed by them, and consciously engage their breath to calm their nervous system. Over time, brain imaging studies might show increased activity in their prefrontal cortex and decreased activity in their amygdala, reflecting a more balanced, integrated, and resilient neural network. This allows them to approach stressful situations with greater clarity, less emotional reactivity, and a more grounded demeanor, demonstrating a tangible, scientifically verifiable change in their brain's response to stress. Presence also impacts the insula, a brain region involved in interoception, the awareness of internal bodily states. A more active and well-connected insula means a heightened ability to tune into your body's subtle signals, such as early signs of hunger, fatigue, tension, or the onset of an emotion. This increased body awareness is crucial for self-regulation, making healthier choices, and responding to your needs before they become overwhelming. In essence, cultivating presence trains your brain to be more attentive, less reactive, more emotionally intelligent, and more resilient. It's akin to exercising a muscle. The more you practice being present, the stronger and more efficient these beneficial neural pathways become. Understanding this compelling scientific basis provides a powerful motivation to integrate presence into your life, knowing that you are actively shaping your brain for greater well-being, enhanced cognitive function, and a more calm and focused existence. Chapter 3. The Breath, Your Anchor to the Now. In the vast and often turbulent ocean of our thoughts and emotions, the present moment can feel like an elusive shore, constantly receding with the tides of distraction. Our minds, as we've explored, are prone to drifting, pulling us into the strong currents of past regrets or the uncertain waters of future anxieties. To navigate this mental landscape with greater ease, stability, and presence, we need a reliable, ever-present anchor, something that is always available, always in the now, and always intimately connected to our physical being. That anchor is our breath. Our breath is a miraculous, involuntary process that sustains life, happening continuously without any conscious effort on our part. Yet, when we choose to bring our conscious awareness to it, it transforms into an extraordinarily powerful and immediate tool for cultivating presence. The simple act of noticing the inhale and the exhale can immediately pull us out of mental chatter, emotional reactivity, and external distractions, grounding us firmly in the present moment. It serves as a physiological bridge, connecting our inner world of thoughts and feelings with the external reality of our physical body and environment. When we consciously focus on our breath, especially by slowing and deepening it, we directly activate the parasympathetic nervous system, often referred to as the rest and digest system. This system is responsible for promoting relaxation, conserving energy, and returning the body to a state of calm. This activation directly counteracts the fight or flight response of the sympathetic nervous system, which is frequently overactive in our high-stress modern lives. By consciously regulating our breath, we send a powerful signal to our brain that we are safe, calm, and in control, even amidst external chaos or internal turmoil. Consider an individual experiencing a surge of intense frustration or anger during a difficult conversation or a frustrating situation. Their body's automatic response might be to tense up, their breathing becomes shallow and rapid, and their thoughts race with accusations or justifications, often leading to an impulsive, regrettable outburst. In this heightened, reactive state, they are completely disconnected from their wise, calm self. If, however, they have cultivated the practice of using their breath as an anchor, they can consciously pause. Instead of immediately reacting, they might take a slow, deep inhale, feeling the air fill their lungs and abdomen, and then a longer, deliberate exhale, consciously releasing some of the physical tension and emotional charge. Repeating this just a few times can create a crucial moment of space, a brief but profound gap between the stimulus and their response. This space allows them to observe the anger or frustration without being consumed by it, to choose a more measured, thoughtful, and skillful response, and to prevent the situation from escalating unnecessarily. The breath acts as a circuit breaker, interrupting the automatic stress response and allowing for a more present and intentional engagement with the challenge. Mindful breathing is not about controlling your breath perfectly or trying to force a state of absolute relaxation. It's about gentle, non-judgmental noticing. Notice the subtle sensation of the air entering your nostrils, the gentle rise and fall of your chest or abdomen, the subtle pause between breaths, and the feeling of the air leaving your body. When your mind inevitably wanders, and it will wander, as that is its nature, gently acknowledge the distraction, and then compassionately guide your attention back to the breath without judgment or self-criticism. This consistent act of returning again and again is the essence of the practice itself, building your capacity for presence. Here are practical ways to integrate the breath as your anchor to the now. The 3-breath reset. Make it a habit. Before starting a new task, walking into a challenging meeting, transitioning from work to home, or even before checking your phone, take 3 deep, slow, intentional breaths. Inhale for a count of 4, hold briefly, and exhale for a count of 6. Feel the subtle shift in your state. Traffic light breathing. Whenever you stop at a red light while driving, use that moment as a cue to take a few mindful breaths. Instead of reaching for your phone or getting impatient, use the pause to recenter yourself and connect with your breath. Mealtime mindfulness. Before you take your first bite of any meal, take a few deep breaths to center yourself, appreciate your food, and bring awareness to the nourishment you are about to receive. This can also enhance mindful eating. Stress spot check. Whenever you feel stress, anxiety, or overwhelm building, pause immediately and bring your attention to your breath. Notice where you feel the tension in your body, shoulders, jaw, stomach, and try to consciously breathe into that area, imagining the breath releasing the tension. Before sleep, practice conscious, deep breathing for a few minutes before bed. This can signal to your body and mind that it's time to wind down, promoting more restful and restorative sleep. Breath counting meditation. Sit comfortably and simply count your breaths. Inhale 1, exhale 2, inhale 3, and so on, up to 10. Then start again from 1. If your mind wanders, gently return to 1. The breath is your ever-present companion, a silent, powerful guide to the present moment. By consciously engaging with it, you build a profound internal resource for grounding yourself, managing stress, and cultivating a deeper, more consistent sense of presence in every aspect of your life. It is the simplest, yet most profound path to unlocking the secret to a calm and focused life. Chapter 4. The Senses. Gateways to Immediate Experience. In our modern, often visually and digitally saturated world, we tend to live predominantly in our heads, disconnected from the rich, vibrant tapestry of sensory information that constantly surrounds us. Yet our 5 senses sound, smell, taste, and touch are powerful, immediate, and always available gateways to the present moment. They are inherently operating in the now, providing direct, unfiltered information about our environment and our internal state. When we intentionally engage our senses, we pull ourselves out of mental abstraction, rumination, and future-oriented planning, and into the vivid, tangible reality of our immediate experience. This practice is a cornerstone of presence. Sensory awareness is a fundamental aspect of cultivating presence. It's about consciously noticing the details that we often filter out, take for granted, or simply rush past in our daily lives. It transforms mundane moments into opportunities for profound presence, heightened appreciation, and a deeper connection to the world around us. By intentionally tuning into what we see, hear, smell, taste, and feel, we anchor ourselves to the physical world and effectively quiet the incessant chatter of the mind. Consider an individual who typically rushes through their morning routine, eating breakfast while simultaneously checking emails, showering while planning their day, and commuting while listening to a podcast or worrying about work. Their senses are engaged only superficially, if at all. They might finish their coffee without truly tasting its nuances, arrive at work without remembering the details of their drive, and feel a constant sense of being on autopilot, perpetually behind, and rarely experiencing genuine enjoyment or engagement in these daily activities. The consequence is a feeling of being disconnected from their own life, as if they are merely observing it from a distance. The turning point comes when they decide to intentionally engage their senses in just one small part of their routine. For example, during their morning coffee, they might consciously put away their phone and simply notice the warmth of the mug in their hands, the rich, complex aroma of the coffee, the steam rising, and the subtle, evolving flavors with each sip. This simple act transforms a rushed, unconscious habit into a moment of mindful presence. They might then extend this practice to their shower, noticing the feel of the water on their skin, the scent of the soap, the sound of the water, or to their commute, consciously observing the colors and textures of the passing landscape, rather than being lost in thought. This deliberate sensory engagement brings a new depth of experience, appreciation, and calm to everyday life, making each moment more vibrant, tangible, and fulfilling. Here are practical ways to engage your senses as a gateway to presence. Mindful eating. Before taking a bite, pause. Notice the colors, shapes, and textures of your food. Inhale its aroma deeply. As you chew, pay exquisite attention to the evolving flavors, the textures, and how your body responds. Chew slowly and savor each mouthful. Sound awareness. Close your eyes for a minute or two. Listen to the furthest sound you can hear, then the closest. Notice the different layers of sound around you: traffic, birds, voices, the hum of electronics, without labeling, judging, or reacting to them. Just listen. Tactile exploration. Consciously feel the texture of your clothes against your skin, the chair you're sitting on, the ground beneath your feet as you walk, or the warmth, coolness of an object in your hands. Notice the pressure, temperature, and specific texture. Visual scan. Look around you as if seeing your environment for the very first time. Notice colors, patterns, light, and shadow. Pick one object to plant, a piece of furniture, a cloud ant. Observe it in intricate detail, noticing every nuance without judgment. Scent check-in. Take a deliberate inhale. What distinct scents are present in your immediate environment? Your coffee, a flower, the scent of rain, or simply the air itself? Notice them with curiosity. Walking with awareness. As you walk, pay attention to the sensations of your feet touching the ground, the rhythmic swing of your arms, the feeling of the air on your skin, and the sights and sounds around you. Let your walk become a moving meditation. The 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise. When feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or distracted, quickly identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, textures, pressure, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This exercise rapidly pulls you back into the present moment through sensory input. By regularly and intentionally engaging your senses, you cultivate a deeper, richer connection to your immediate reality. You transform ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences, finding beauty, wonder, and profound peace in the simple act of being present. This sensory awakening is a powerful and accessible path to unlocking the secret to a calm and focused life. Chapter 5. Presence in Everyday Life. Transforming Routine. The idea of cultivating presence often conjures images of serene meditation cushions, tranquil nature retreats, or moments of profound stillness. While these formal practices are immensely valuable, the true power of presence lies in its applicability to the vast majority of our lives, the mundane, the repetitive, and the seemingly insignificant moments that make up our daily routines. By consciously infusing presence into these everyday activities, from brushing our teeth to doing dishes, commuting, or even waiting in line, we transform ordinary tasks into profound opportunities for awareness, peace. From there DH years for awareness, peace, for mistwive, for mistevriast, for awareness, and a deeper appreciation for the unfolding present. The danger of living on autopilot is that we go through our days mechanically, performing actions without truly experiencing them. Our bodies are physically present, but our minds are elsewhere, planning the next task, worrying about a past interaction, or fantasizing about a future event. This pervasive disconnection leads to a sense of rushing, a lack of fulfillment, and a feeling that time is slipping away without being truly lived. Mindful engagement with routines is about reclaiming these moments, bringing intention, curiosity, and full awareness to each action, thereby transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. Consider an individual who typically dreads household chores, viewing them as tedious obligations to be rushed through as quickly as possible. They might wash dishes while simultaneously listening to a distracting podcast and planning their next work task, or clean the house with a sense of resentment, impatience, and a desire to be done with it. The result is that the chores feel even more burdensome, and they gain no sense of satisfaction or presence from the activity. They are merely enduring it. The turning point comes when they decide to experiment with mindful dishwashing. Instead of rushing, they consciously choose to focus solely on the sensations involved: the warmth of the water on their hands, the feel of the soap suds, the texture of the sponge against the plate, the sound of the water running, and the visual sparkle of the clean dishes. When their mind inevitably wanders to future tasks or past grievances, they gently acknowledge the thought, planning thought, worry thought, and compassionately bring their attention back to the sensations of washing. This simple, deliberate shift transforms a dreaded chore into a meditative practice. It doesn't make the dishes disappear, but it profoundly changes their experience of the task, infusing it with a sense of peace, focus, and even satisfaction. They realize that even in the most mundane activities, presence can be found, leading to a calmer and more focused life. Here's how to infuse presence into your daily routines. Choose one routine. Start small and choose just one routine you perform every day, e.g., making your morning coffee, tea, showering, walking to your car, brushing your teeth, or walking your dog. Engage all senses fully. As you perform this chosen routine, consciously bring your full attention to all your senses. What do you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel in that exact moment? Brushing teeth. Notice the taste and texture of the toothpaste, the feel of the brush bristles against your gums, the sound of the brushing, the reflection in the mirror. Showering. Feel the temperature and pressure of the water on your skin, smell the scent of the soap or shampoo, hear the water flow, notice the steam. Commuting. If driving, notice the colors of traffic, the sounds of the road, the feel of the steering wheel in your hands. If walking, notice the sensation of your feet on the ground, the rhythm of your steps, the sights and sounds of your surroundings. Making coffee, tea. Pay attention to the rich aroma of the beans or tea leaves, the sound of the water boiling, the warmth of the mug in your hands, the first sip, and the lingering taste. Slow down deliberately. Resist the ingrained urge to rush through the task. Take a few extra moments to perform the routine with deliberate, unhurried attention. Notice mind wandering and return. Your mind will wander, that's perfectly normal. When you notice it, gently acknowledge the distraction and then compassionately guide your attention back to the sensations of the routine, without judgment or self-criticism. Avoid multitasking. For the chosen mindful routine, commit to avoiding other distractions. Put away your phone, turn off background noise, and dedicate your full, undivided attention solely to the task at hand. By intentionally bringing presence to your everyday routines, you transform pockets of unconscious living into profound opportunities for awareness, peace, and deeper engagement. You reclaim moments that might otherwise be lost to distraction, finding that even in the simplest acts, the present moment holds immense value and can contribute significantly to a calm and focused life. This consistent practice builds your capacity for presence, allowing you to live more fully and deeply, one mindful moment at a time. Chapter 6. Presence in Relationships. Deepening Connection. Our relationships with family, friends, partners, colleagues, and even strangers form the rich tapestry of our lives, providing connection, support, meaning, and joy. Yet, in our increasingly distracted and fast-paced world, even our most cherished relationships can suffer from a profound lack of presence. We might be physically with loved ones, but mentally miles away, preoccupied with our phones, our to-do lists, our internal narratives, or simply waiting for our turn to speak. This pervasive mindlessness in interactions leads to superficial exchanges, feelings of being unheard, misunderstandings, and a deep sense of disconnection. Presence offers a profound and transformative pathway to deepening our connections, fostering genuine empathy, and transforming our interactions from transactional exchanges to moments of authentic understanding and shared humanity. Presence in relationships is fundamentally about bringing full, non-judgmental attention to the other person and the interaction itself. It involves truly listening, not just to the words, but to the tone, the emotions, and the unspoken cues. It means observing nonverbal communication and being acutely aware of your own internal reactions without letting them hijack the conversation or dictate your response. This level of intentional presence creates a sacred space for authentic connection where both parties feel genuinely seen, heard, valued, and understood. Consider an individual who frequently finds themselves in escalating arguments or recurring misunderstandings with their partner. Often, during these exchanges, each person is formulating their next point or defense while the other is still speaking. Or they are mentally replaying past grievances rather than truly listening to the current message being conveyed. This lack of present listening leads to a feeling of being unheard, frustrated, and disconnected for both individuals, perpetuating a cycle of conflict. Through cultivating presence in their interactions, this individual learns to consciously pause before responding. They commit to truly hearing their partner's words, noticing the nuances in their tone of voice, and observing their own internal reactions, e.g., I'm feeling defensive, I'm feeling impatient. Instead of immediately interrupting, counter-arguing, or becoming reactive, they might take a silent, grounding breath, allowing their partner to finish speaking and giving themselves a moment to process the information without judgment. This creates a crucial space for a more thoughtful, less impulsive, and more skillful response. Over time, this consistent practice leads to fewer escalations, more productive and empathetic discussions, and a profoundly deeper sense of understanding, trust, and connection between them, demonstrating how presence changes everything by fostering profound relational harmony. Key aspects of cultivating presence in relationships. Mindful listening, deep listening. This is perhaps the most powerful relational presence practice. It involves giving your full, undivided attention to the speaker. Put away all distractions, especially phones. Make genuine eye contact. Listen to understand rather than to formulate your reply. And notice not just their words, but also their tone, emotions, and body language. Non-judgmental observation. Observe the other person's behavior, words, and expressions without immediately labeling them as good or bad, right or wrong. Try to understand their perspective with an open, curious mind. Awareness of your own internal reactions. Notice your internal thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations as they arise during an interaction. Are you feeling defensive, impatient, judgmental, or triggered? Acknowledge these feelings without letting them control your response. Intentional communication. Before speaking, pause and consider your intention. Are your words kind, necessary, and true? Are they contributing to connection, understanding, and resolution, or to disconnection and conflict? Presence in shared activities. Whether it's eating a meal together, going for a walk, watching a movie, or simply sitting in silence, be fully present. Engage your senses in the shared experience and appreciate the simple, profound act of being together. Empathy and compassion. Presence naturally cultivates empathy by allowing you to more deeply attune to another's experience. When you are truly present, you are more attuned to their suffering or joy, fostering a compassionate and supportive response. Skillful conflict resolution. In disagreements, presence helps you to stay grounded, listen more effectively to the underlying needs, and respond with greater wisdom, patience, and less reactivity, leading to more constructive resolutions and stronger bonds. Expressing appreciation. Consciously notice and express gratitude for the presence and contributions of others. A genuine, "Thank you for being here," or "I appreciate you listening," can significantly deepen connection. By consciously bringing presence to your relationships, you move beyond superficial interactions and transactional exchanges to create deeper, more authentic, and profoundly meaningful connections. You become a more present, empathetic, and understanding partner, friend, and family member. This profound shift in how you relate to others is one of the most significant ways that presence changes everything, enriching your life with invaluable bonds and fostering a calm and focused existence. Chapter 7: Presence at Work, Enhancing Focus and Flow. In today's professional landscape, characterized by relentless demands, constant connectivity, and an avalanche of distractions, maintaining focus and achieving deep productivity can feel like an insurmountable challenge. The continuous barrage of emails, notifications, meetings, and competing priorities often leads to fragmented attention, increased stress, and a pervasive feeling of being perpetually overwhelmed and behind. Presence, far from being a soft or abstract concept, offers concrete, scientifically backed strategies for enhancing cognitive function, improving decision-making, fostering creativity, and cultivating a more productive and fulfilling work experience. It's about working smarter, not just harder, by bringing intentional, undivided attention to your tasks. Presence at work is about cultivating a focused, non-judgmental awareness on the task at hand, whether it's writing a complex report, participating actively in a meeting, engaging in a strategic planning session, or responding thoughtfully to emails. It involves recognizing when your mind inevitably wanders to personal worries, future plans, or digital distractions, and gently, compassionately, bringing it back to your current responsibility. This consistent practice allows you to engage more deeply, effectively, and efficiently with your work, significantly reducing the mental clutter and scattered attention that often impede efficiency, innovation, and job satisfaction. Consider an individual who frequently struggles with procrastination and a pervasive feeling of being constantly behind at work. They might spend a significant portion of their workday checking emails compulsively, browsing irrelevant websites, or getting sidetracked by minor, non-urgent tasks, all while a major, high-stakes project looms. This pattern leads to escalating stress, missed deadlines, superficial work quality, and a profound sense of inadequacy and self-reproach. Through cultivating presence at work, they learn to recognize the urge to procrastinate or get distracted as it arises. When they sit down to work on the major project, they might set a timer for focused work, e.g., using the Pomodoro technique for 25 minutes of intense focus, and commit to bringing their full attention solely to that task. When their mind inevitably wanders to social media or other distractions, they gently acknowledge the thought, distraction thought, procrastination urge, and compassionately guide their attention back to the project. They might also practice mindful email checking, dedicating specific, limited blocks of time to processing their inbox rather than reacting to every incoming ping. This deliberate focus and intentional return to the present task allows them to complete work more efficiently, with higher quality, and with a greater sense of accomplishment and flow. They realize that by being fully present in their work, they not only improve their output and reduce their stress, but also experience a deeper sense of engagement and meaning in their professional life, demonstrating how presence changes everything by enhancing professional effectiveness and well-being. Key applications and benefits of presence in the workplace. Enhanced focus and sustained attention. Presence training directly improves your ability to maintain sustained attention and significantly reduces mind wandering, allowing you to concentrate more effectively on complex tasks and projects. Reduced distraction and multitasking. By becoming more acutely aware of both internal thoughts, emotions, and external notifications, noise, distractions, you gain the power to choose whether to engage with them or to consciously return to your primary task. Improved decision-making and problem-solving. A calm, present mind, free from the clutter of anxiety and reactivity, is better equipped to analyze information objectively, weigh options thoughtfully, and make rational, effective decisions, unclouded by emotional bias or impulsive reactions. Effective stress management. As explored in previous chapters, presence directly reduces the physiological stress response, helping you remain calm, composed, and effective even under intense pressure or during challenging situations. Better communication and collaboration. Mindful listening and intentional communication lead to clearer understanding, fewer misunderstandings, and more productive, empathetic collaborations with colleagues, clients, and superiors. Increased creativity and innovation. By quieting the mental noise and creating spaciousness in the mind, presence fosters the optimal conditions for new ideas, insights, and innovative solutions to emerge. Burnout prevention and sustainable productivity. Regularly integrating mindful pauses, short breaks, and a quality of presence throughout the workday helps to prevent mental fatigue, emotional exhaustion, and burnout, promoting sustainable long-term productivity and well-being. Mindful leadership. Leaders who cultivate presence can foster more empathetic, focused, and resilient teams. Their presence inspires trust, clarity, and a positive, engaged work culture. Skillful management of difficult conversations. Staying present, non-reactive, and grounded during challenging discussions allows for more constructive outcomes, reduced interpersonal conflict, and the ability to address issues effectively. Presence is not about working harder or longer. It's about working with greater awareness, intention, clarity, and efficiency. By integrating presence practices into your professional life, you not only enhance your productivity, performance, and career satisfaction, but also cultivate a more fulfilling, less stressful, and deeply engaged work experience. This profound shift in how you approach your career is a powerful example of how presence changes everything, leading to a calm and focused professional life. Chapter 8. Navigating Distraction. The Digital Challenge. In the digital age, our attention has become a precious commodity, constantly fragmented and pulled in countless directions by the pervasive presence of technology. Smartphones, social media platforms, endless notifications, and the alluring promise of constant connectivity create a state of perpetual distraction, digital overwhelm, and a deep disconnection from our immediate surroundings and inner peace. While technology offers immense benefits facilitating communication, access to information, and opportunities for learning, its unmindful use can severely erode our capacity for sustained attention, deepen anxiety, and diminish our ability to truly live in the present moment. Cultivating presence in the digital age, therefore, often requires a conscious, strategic, and often courageous approach to managing our relationship with technology. Digital well-being, through the lens of presence, is not about abandoning technology entirely or adopting an ascetic lifestyle. Instead, it's about creating intentional boundaries, deliberate periods of disconnection, and mindful engagement with our devices to foster a deeper connection with the now. It's about being the master of your technology rather than allowing your technology to master you. The ultimate goal is to reduce the constant, often unconscious, pull of the digital world so you can fully engage with the richness of your real-world experiences, nurture your relationships, and reconnect with your inner life. Consider an individual who finds themselves compulsively checking their phone every few minutes, even during meals, conversations, or while trying to relax. They might experience a persistent fear of missing out, FOMO, a compulsive urge to respond to every notification immediately, or a feeling of anxiety and restlessness when not connected to the internet. This habit leads to fractured attention, strained relationships as loved ones feel ignored or secondary, and a persistent feeling of mental exhaustion. They might struggle to focus on deep work, truly unwind, or engage in meaningful offline hobbies, as their mind is always anticipating the next digital ping or update. The turning point comes when they realize this constant digital engagement is robbing them of their presence, their peace, and their genuine connections. They might start by implementing small, deliberate digital detoxes, setting specific no-phone times, e.g., during meals, an hour before bed, turning off non-essential notifications for social media or news apps, or designating certain areas of their home as tech-free zones. Initially, they might experience withdrawal symptoms, a sense of unease, or a heightened fear of missing out. But as they persist, they notice a significant improvement in their ability to focus on tasks, their quality of sleep, and the depth and authenticity of their real-world interactions. They discover that true connection, contentment, and a calm, focused life are found offline, in the richness of the present moment, affirming how presence changes everything by helping them reclaim their attention from the digital deluge. Here are practical strategies for cultivating digital well-being through presence. Implement no-phone zones, times. Designate specific physical areas, e.g., bedroom, dining table, or consistent times, e.g., the first hour of the day, the last hour before bed during family meals, as completely tech-free zones. Turn off non-essential notifications. Most apps do not require immediate attention. Turn off notifications for social media, news alerts, games, and non-urgent emails. Check them on your own terms, at designated times, rather than reacting to every ping. Schedule digital check-ins. Instead of constantly reacting to incoming messages or updates, set specific, limited times during the day to check emails, social media, or messages. Treat these as intentional tasks within your schedule. Create a digital sunset. Establish a consistent time each evening when you put away all screens, e.g., 60-90 minutes before bedtime. This allows your mind to wind down naturally, significantly improving sleep quality and fostering presence before sleep. Charge devices away from your bedroom. This simple physical act removes the temptation to check your phone throughout the night or first thing in the morning, encouraging a more mindful and present start to your day. Curate your digital environment. Actively unfollow or mute accounts that trigger negative emotions, comparison, or excessive distraction. Consciously curate your feeds to include content that inspires, educates, or genuinely brings you joy and value. Practice mindful scrolling, browsing. If you do engage with social media or the internet, set a timer for a specific duration. Before you start, take a few breaths and ask, "What is my intention here?" When the timer goes off, stop and notice how you feel. Engage in offline hobbies and activities. Actively pursue activities that require your full, undivided attention and are inherently screen-free, e.g., reading a physical book, cooking, gardening, playing a board game, spending time in nature, engaging in creative arts, or simply conversing face-to-face. Communicate your boundaries. Let friends, family, and colleagues know if you're taking a digital break or have specific times when you're intentionally unavailable. This manages expectations and reinforces your commitment to presence. By consciously managing your relationship with technology, you reclaim your attention, reduce mental clutter, and create more space for genuine presence. A mindful digital detox is not about deprivation, but about liberation, liberation from constant distraction and the anxiety of missing out. It allows you to fully inhabit your life, discovering that in the quiet moments of real-world engagement, true contentment, connection, and a calm, focused existence reside. This fundamental shift in how you interact with the digital world is a powerful testament to how presence changes everything. Chapter 9. Presence and Emotional Agility. Riding the Waves. Emotions are a fundamental and often powerful part of the human experience. They provide valuable information about our inner world, our needs, and our interactions with the environment. However, when emotions become overwhelming, intense, or prolonged, they can feel like inner storms, hijacking our attention, clouding our judgment, and pulling us away from the present moment. We might get swept away by anger, paralyzed by fear, or consumed by sadness. Presence offers powerful tools for emotional agility, the ability to navigate these inner storms with greater awareness, wisdom, and less automatic reactivity. It's not about suppressing or eliminating emotions, but about relating to them in a healthier, more skillful way. Emotional agility, through a lens of presence involves several key steps. Awareness. Noticing the emotion as it arises in your body and mind without immediately reacting or getting caught in its story. Acceptance. Allowing the emotion to be present just as it is, rather than fighting it, judging it, or wishing it away. This is not condoning, but acknowledging. Investigation. Exploring the emotion with gentle curiosity. Where do I feel it in my body? What thoughts are associated with it? What is it trying to tell me? Non-identification. Recognizing that you are not your emotion, it is a temporary experience passing through you, like a cloud in the sky. You are the sky. Wise response. After creating space and gaining insight, consciously choosing how to respond to the emotion or the situation that triggered it, rather than being driven by an impulsive reaction. Consider an individual who frequently experiences intense anxiety before public speaking. This anxiety often manifests as a racing heart, sweaty palms, a churning stomach, and a mind filled with catastrophic thoughts about failure or embarrassment. Their usual response is to try to push the anxiety away, distract themselves, or avoid public speaking altogether, which only reinforces the underlying fear and limits their opportunities. Through cultivating presence and emotional agility, they learn a fundamentally different approach. When the anxiety arises, they first notice the physical sensations and thoughts, awareness. Instead of fighting it, they mentally acknowledge its presence, perhaps even saying, "Hello, anxiety, I see you," acceptance. They then gently investigate where they feel it in their body, noticing the tightness in their chest or stomach and the pressure in their head. They remind themselves that this feeling is temporary, that it will pass, and that they are not their anxiety. They are the one experiencing it, non-identification. This practice creates a crucial space. Instead of being overwhelmed, they can then choose a wise response, perhaps by taking a few grounding breaths, reminding themselves of their preparation, focusing on the purpose of their speech, or even acknowledging their nervousness to the audience. This doesn't eliminate the anxiety entirely, but it allows them to navigate it with greater composure, effectiveness, and self-compassion, demonstrating how presence changes everything by transforming their relationship with challenging emotions. Here are practical strategies for cultivating presence and emotional agility. Name it to tame it. When a strong emotion arises, simply name it mentally, e.g., anger, sadness, fear, joy, frustration. This act of labeling can help to create distance and reduce its overwhelming intensity. Feel it in your body. Instead of getting lost in the story or narrative of the emotion, bring your attention to where you feel it physically. Is it a tightness, a warmth, a pressure, a hollowness? Observe these sensations with curiosity, without judgment. The wave metaphor. Imagine emotions as waves in the ocean. They rise, peak, and eventually subside. You can learn to ride the wave without being pulled under or fighting against its force. Rain practice. Recognize, allow, investigate, nurture. Recognize what is happening, the emotion. Allow the experience to be there, just as it is. Acceptance. Investigate with a gentle, curious attention. Explore sensations, thoughts. Nurture with self-compassion. Offer kindness to yourself. Mindful breathing for regulation. Use your breath as an anchor during intense emotions. Focus on long, slow exhales to activate the parasympathetic nervous system and calm your body. Delay your response. When a strong emotion prompts an impulsive reaction, e.g., yelling, sending an angry email, give yourself a mandatory pause. Count to 10. Take a walk, or step away from the situation before responding. Practice self-compassion. Revisited. When experiencing difficult emotions, be kind to yourself. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel what you're feeling, and that you are doing your best. Seek support. Professional guidance can provide invaluable tools and strategies. Presence provides a powerful framework for understanding and skillfully navigating the full spectrum of human emotions. By learning to observe, accept, and respond wisely to your inner experiences, you gain greater emotional freedom, resilience, and inner peace. This profound shift in your emotional landscape is a testament to how presence changes everything, leading to a calm and focused life. Chapter 10: Presence and Acceptance. Embracing what is. In our human tendency to strive for perfection, control outcomes, and avoid discomfort, we often find ourselves in a constant battle with reality. We resist what is, wishing things were different, clinging to ideals, or lamenting past events. This resistance, however, is a significant source of suffering and a major barrier to experiencing true presence. When we fight against reality, our minds are pulled away from the present moment into a cycle of frustration, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. Presence, deeply intertwined with the practice of acceptance, offers a profound pathway to inner peace by teaching us to embrace what is rather than perpetually striving for what should be. Acceptance, in the context of presence, is not resignation or passivity. It does not mean condoning harmful behavior, giving up on goals, or liking everything that happens. Instead, it is a courageous and active acknowledgement of reality as it unfolds in the present moment. It's about recognizing the facts of a situation, the feelings that arise, and the circumstances that exist, without judgment or resistance. This practice frees up immense mental and emotional energy that would otherwise be spent in futile struggle, allowing us to engage more skillfully and peacefully with life. Consider an individual who is meticulously organized and thrives on having a perfectly planned schedule. When an unexpected event occurs, a sudden change in plans, a delayed flight, or an unforeseen project at work that disrupts their routine, they might experience intense frustration, anxiety, and a feeling of being completely derailed. Their mind might race with thoughts of how things should have been, or they might ruminate on the unfairness of the situation, preventing them from adapting effectively. This resistance to the present reality amplifies their suffering. Through cultivating presence and acceptance, they learn a different approach. When the unexpected disruption occurs, they first notice the immediate feelings of frustration or anxiety. Presence. Instead of fighting these feelings or the situation, they mentally acknowledge, "This is happening now. This is how I feel." Acceptance. They might take a few deep breaths to ground themselves. This acknowledgement allows them to release the mental struggle against reality. From this place of acceptance, they can then more calmly assess the situation, adjust their plans, and respond constructively rather than being consumed by unproductive resistance. They realize that by accepting what is, they gain the clarity and flexibility to navigate challenges with greater ease, demonstrating how presence changes everything by fostering inner peace and adaptability. Here are practical ways to cultivate presence and acceptance. Acknowledge reality without judgment. When a difficult situation arises or an uncomfortable emotion surfaces, simply state to yourself, "This is happening now," or "I am feeling X right now." Avoid adding judgment or commentary. The "it is what it is" mantra. Sometimes a simple phrase can be powerful. When you find yourself resisting, gently repeat, "It is what it is," to remind yourself to acknowledge the present reality. Focus on what you can control. Acceptance helps you differentiate between what you can and cannot control. Accept what is beyond your influence, and focus your energy on skillful action within your sphere of control. Practice self-compassion. Revisited. Acceptance often begins with accepting yourself, flaws and all. When you struggle, offer yourself kindness and understanding, rather than harsh self-criticism. Mindful body scan for resistance. Notice where you hold resistance in your body. Is there tension in your jaw, shoulders, or stomach when you're fighting a situation? Breathe into those areas Inviting release. Allowing practice. When an uncomfortable thought or feeling arises, instead of pushing it away, mentally create space for it. Imagine it as a guest you don't necessarily like, but you allow it to sit for a moment before it moves on. Observe impermanence. Everything is constantly changing. By observing the impermanence of thoughts, feelings, and external circumstances, you can cultivate a deeper acceptance that nothing lasts forever, good or bad. Gratitude for what is. Even in challenging moments, try to find something to be grateful for in the present reality. This shifts your perspective towards acceptance and appreciation. Cultivating presence through acceptance is a profound act of liberation. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of fighting against reality, allowing you to meet life as it truly is, beautifully flawed, constantly evolving, and inherently unpredictable. By embracing what is, you open yourself to the richness of the present moment, discovering that in its authentic reality, you can find a deep sense of calm, focus, and inner peace. This radical shift in your relationship with reality is a powerful testament to how presence changes everything. Chapter 11. Presence and Resilience. Grounding in Adversity. Life, as we've consistently emphasized, is a dynamic and often unpredictable journey, not a static state. Despite our best efforts to cultivate presence and live mindfully, setbacks, disappointments, losses, and unexpected crises are an inevitable part of the human experience. A job loss, a health diagnosis, a relationship ending, a financial struggle, or a global crisis. These moments can throw us completely off kilter, making the idea of staying grounded in the present seem impossible. This is precisely where resilience comes into play. Resilience isn't about avoiding hardship or pretending problems don't exist. It's about the profound capacity to bounce back, adapt, and even grow stronger in the face of adversity, all while maintaining a vital connection to the present moment. It's the ability to navigate the storms of life without being capsized by past regrets or future fears. Building resilience is a crucial aspect of cultivating a calm and focused life, because true presence isn't just about enjoying serene moments. It's about having the inner fortitude to maintain your equilibrium and awareness when the ground beneath you shifts dramatically. It's about having the mental, emotional, and physical tools to prevent a temporary disruption from becoming a permanent state of overwhelm, despair, and disconnection from the now. Consider an individual who has diligently cultivated presence in their daily life, enjoying increased calm and focus. Suddenly, they face an unforeseen major life disruption, such as a significant personal loss or a severe illness. Initially, this event can trigger feelings of devastation, profound sadness, fear, and a sense of losing all the peace and progress they had cultivated. The immediate reaction might be to spiral into despair, dwelling endlessly on what was lost, or fearing a bleak, uncertain future, thereby completely losing touch with the present moment. However, with developed resilience, their response shifts significantly. Instead of being completely consumed by the setback, they can draw upon their cultivated inner resources. They might allow themselves to feel the initial shock and grief, acknowledging the painful emotions without judgment, a core aspect of presence. They then consciously engage in mindful breathing to ground themselves in the present moment, recognizing the pain but preventing it from completely overwhelming their capacity to function. They apply self-compassion, acknowledging the difficulty of the situation without self-blame or harsh criticism. They lean on their established support network for emotional encouragement and practical assistance, accepting comfort and connection in the present. They reevaluate their priorities, recognizing that while one area of their life is profoundly shaken, others remain strong and can provide stability. This allows them to approach the challenge with a more problem-solving mindset, focusing on what they can control in the present, e.g., seeking medical advice, taking small steps towards healing, allowing themselves to rest, rather than dwelling on what they cannot. This resilient approach helps them navigate the crisis, learn from it, and ultimately emerge stronger, with a deeper appreciation for the preciousness of each moment and their own inner strength, affirming how presence changes everything by fostering profound resilience. Building resilience is an ongoing process, not a one-time fix. It involves consistently cultivating a set of practices and a mindset that helps you navigate life's inevitable ups and downs while staying connected to the present. Here are key components for building resilience through presence. Cultivate self-awareness. Deepen your understanding of your emotional triggers, your typical stress responses, and your personal strengths and weaknesses. This allows you to anticipate and manage challenges more effectively, recognizing early warning signs of overwhelm and proactively bringing yourself back to the present. Develop problem-solving skills. Instead of dwelling on problems or feeling paralyzed by them, focus on actively finding solutions in the present moment. Break down large challenges into smaller, manageable steps and brainstorm various approaches with a clear mind. Foster a realistic optimism. This isn't about ignoring reality or being naively optimistic, but about believing in your ability to overcome challenges and seeing opportunities for growth even in difficult situations. It's about maintaining hope for the future while acting effectively and mindfully in the present. Build strong relationships. As discussed in Chapter 6, a strong support network is critical for resilience. Knowing you have people to lean on who can offer emotional support, practical help, or different perspectives provides immense strength and reduces feelings of isolation, allowing you to stay connected to the present human experience. Practice consistent self-care. Prioritize adequate sleep, nutritious food, regular physical activity, and moments of relaxation. These are not luxuries. They are foundational for your physical and mental capacity to cope with stress and bounce back from adversity, enabling you to be present and grounded. Embrace change and adaptability. Life is fluid and constantly evolving. The more flexible you are in your thinking and approach, the better equipped you'll be to navigate transitions and unexpected shifts without becoming rigid or breaking, allowing you to adapt gracefully in the present moment. Learn from experience. Reflect mindfully on past challenges you've faced. What did you learn from those experiences? How did you cope effectively? What strengths did you discover about yourself? Apply these lessons and insights to future difficulties, informing your present actions. Set realistic goals, especially during adversity. During times of stress or transition, adjust your expectations. Focus on small, achievable steps in the present moment rather than overwhelming yourself with grand ambitions. Celebrate small victories to build momentum and reinforce your capacity. Find purpose and meaning. Having a sense of purpose beyond yourself, whether through work, relationships, contribution, or personal values, can provide immense motivation, perspective, and a reason to persevere during difficult times, grounding you in a larger context. Seek professional help when needed. There's no shame in seeking support from a therapist, counselor, or coach when you're struggling to cope with overwhelming challenges. Professional guidance can provide invaluable tools and strategies for staying present and resilient. Building resilience is about strengthening your inner core, much like strengthening the foundations of your life. It's about equipping yourself with the tools to not just survive, but to thrive amidst the complexities of life. When you cultivate presence and resilience, you ensure that even when adversity strikes, you have the capacity to breathe deeply, adjust your stance, and bounce back stronger than before, continuing your journey towards a calm and focused life.